Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today. Starting off on this 4-hour time frame. And guys, did I or did I not say in yesterday's video that you should pay attention to what happens to around this trend line? And yes, today we saw that first rejection from that trend line once again. So that is why it is important to watch these videos every single day so you know what to look out for in the crypto markets. Now, what am I saying here? Am I saying that we're going to go straight down and we're going to 40K? No, I am not, even though I saw some comments saying that I was spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt. No, I still think it is possible that we break out to the upside here. For example, if we break this descending line of resistance here, then yes, I do think it is completely possible that we go to the top of the range once again, which currently is sitting at about 68.5K for the Bitcoin price. But so long as that does not happen, so where we do not break out above this descending line of resistance, then in my opinion, it is just a little bit early to get extremely bullish here, even though, yes, we saw that bullish divergence in the charts, which I will get to in just a second here. But even if it then breaks out to the upside, you were right for the wrong reasons, in my opinion, at least. As I say in every single video as well, so long as we are trading above this level of support right here, which is currently sitting at about 55.8K, then I do think it is possible that eventually we go back to the top of the range once again. Now, since I know that you guys love me being bullish in these videos, let me give you the bullish scenario here. Because so far we had this high, and then we had this low, then of course a higher high and a lower low. So this is what we call a downtrend, right? Now, if you see something like a change of price structure here, where instead of making another lower high and a lower low, if instead of that, you see the Bitcoin price breaking above this previous high at about 63.2K, and then doing something like this, either way, just making a low above this previous low right here, then yes, more likely we are going much higher for the Bitcoin price after that. But so long as that doesn't happen, you can simply draw this trend line right here. And then what it will look like on this daily time frame is simply a downtrend, right? So getting back to this bullish divergence that I mentioned earlier in the charts, on this daily time frame, you can see that we got it confirmed right here at about 53.6K when I mentioned it in my videos. And typically what you'll see with a bullish divergence is a break from all of this bearish price action. So this can happen either by some choppy sideways price action or potentially even some bullish momentum in the short term. And of course, like I was saying earlier, if we break that downtrend, that would be very bullish. And also if we get a higher high above this previous high right here, that would also be a very bullish scenario. Now, in terms of invalidation, if you see something like this, I'm just extending this trend line at the bottom here on the RSI momentum indicator. If you see the RSI do something like this on the daily time frame, then this bullish divergence is invalidated on the daily time frame, meaning that it is no longer active, and then the door to more bearish price action is open once again. So now getting to these Fibonacci levels of support and resistance for today, I actually redrew the Fibonacci levels in my charts today because I wanted to include this golden pocket in terms of the Fibonacci levels. And therefore we have this 0.236 Fibonacci level sitting at about 57.7K, and currently the Bitcoin price is basically trading right on top of that level. And we got that daily candle close from yesterday basically right on top of it as well. So potentially, if this bullish divergence here continues to play out, then the next Fibonacci level of resistance is going to be the 0.382 Fibonacci level, sitting at 60.4K, roughly speaking. So that is what I would be looking out for, paying attention to what is happening around this price level and paying attention to what is happening around that 0.382 Fibonacci level, like I said earlier. Moving on to the support and resistance levels for Bitcoin on this 4-hour time frame. Right here, you can see that we traded above this level of resistance, sitting from 58 all the way down to 56,000 US dollars. However, if we zoom out to the daily time frame, we have not successfully cleared above this level right here. And therefore, for now, I think it is too early to call it a level of support until we actually get that convincing daily close above this level. And until then, I actually believe it is still possible to just get a rejection back down from this 58K level. Although if we do get that daily candle close above, then likely we are heading up into this next big level of resistance, sitting from 60,000 all the way up to 62.4K. So that is interesting to look forward to if you see that daily candle close above. And in terms of support to the downside, I have to zoom out here a little bit because there is basically nothing happening in between this level of resistance and this level of support, right? Meaning that the next big level of support is sitting from 53,000 all the way down to $50,000 for the Bitcoin price. Although again, I am not saying that we need to go down to this level. I'm just saying that if we start trading below 56K here, then likely we are heading into this next big level of support below that. So that is just something to keep in mind. But again, we have other levels of support as well. Like for example, right here at about 55.7K as of the time of recording. And this does trend down over time. So therefore, you need to pay attention to these different charts and different time frames to get the best idea of what you need to look out for in this market. And if you want to stay up to date with the crypto markets, then make sure to subscribe to my channel with notifications on. I recently reached 3,000 subscribers and I would love to get to 4K. So if you're not subscribed yet, then please make sure to do so. I'm also announcing the launch of a trading course for leverage trading in crypto specifically, and it will be completely free. So once I launch that, I will make sure to mention it in one of my videos. So if you are interested in that, then again, make sure to subscribe so you get notified whenever I do launch that trading course. Now let's get back to this Bitcoin analysis here. Starting off with this Bitcoin liquidation heat map, first of all, on the 1 week time frame. And again, guys, just like I said in yesterday's video, if we go to the upside and start sweeping this liquidity right here, then pay attention to those levels, because similar to what we saw here, we got a fast move to the upside, sweeping all of this liquidity, taking out all of these short positions, and then reversed back to the downside. And here again, you see this scandal candle, this crazy wick to the upside, after which we got another smaller leg to the downside, as I said in yesterday's video. Now, in terms of the liquidity levels, you need to pay attention to this level right here at 56.7K, because there is a lot of liquidity right here, about $800 million worth of long positions. And below that, there is liquidity as low as 54K for the Bitcoin price. Although again, like I was saying in yesterday's video as well, I do not think we will be sweeping this liquidity unless there is a clear confirmation signal that we are actually going much lower here. And so far, I am not fully convinced unless I really see a break of this descending channel that I talked about earlier. And in terms of liquidity to the upside, we also have this liquidity right here sitting at 59.8K. So there is still some liquidity to the upside left here. And therefore, again, especially if you see us sweeping this liquidity to the downside, then potentially we can see another reversal where we first sweep the liquidity to the downside and then take out the liquidity to the upside here. Moving on to the Bitcoin ETF flow tables for today, you can see that yesterday we got another massive inflow into these Bitcoin ETFs, about $150 million worth of inflows, which is again more than average, because typically the Bitcoin ETFs buy about $120 million worth of Bitcoin every single weekday. And of course, yesterday we saw a net inflow of 150 million. And it wasn't just BlackRock buying this time, it was all the other ETFs also buying a little bit here. So that is definitely a good thing to see. And besides that, we also have the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF only being a net seller for about $8 million worth of Bitcoin. So the outflows from the Grayscale ETF are also really slowing down here. Overall, this is looking very bullish. And as I was saying in my videos during this time frame right here, when we were getting these small inflows, I was already saying that we are basically seeing a new type of behavior from the Bitcoin ETF investors, because right before this, we had nothing but net outflows for weeks, basically. And that's when we were in this strong downtrend. So as soon as they flipped a little bit more bullish here, I was saying potentially we could be seeing a change from these ETF investors. And especially if we start seeing large inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs again, then potentially it could be that indication that we are actually breaking back to the upside once more. Now, I know that people are skeptical about this, especially in the comment section. I read it quite a lot of people saying, yeah, the ETFs are buying over the counter and stuff like that. But guys, I do think that seeing this data here is also not just the Bitcoin ETF investors, but it's just overall crypto investor sentiment. And when we get large inflows into these ETFs, it basically means that a lot of investors are buying back in once again, and eventually that should be pushing up the price much higher. So in conclusion here for the Bitcoin price, technically, we are still in a downtrend. We have not broken above this descending line of resistance. In fact, we actually got a rejection from it today, as I warned about in yesterday's video. Now, as soon as we actually confirm a break above, I will be flipping more bullish likely. But until then, I am afraid to say that we are just technically still in a downtrend. So it should be expected that we continue to go lower here until we actually break this trend right here. So in my opinion, the best way to profit from this is just by leverage trading these short-term moves to the upside. So you're longing this move to the upside here and trying to profit from that instead of just buying your crypto and then hoping it eventually goes up at some point, because it can be very profitable to just be trading sideways and taking those long and short positions on the smaller timeframes. This has been today's market update. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you again tomorrow in the next one.